My brothers, we're together once again. Unfortunately, yesterday our team stumbled once more, piling up mistakes that ended up costing us dearly on the field. But here on this channel, we don't hide from reality. We're going to break everything down, talk it through, and try to understand what needs to change. Before we get started, I'm asking for your support. Hit that like button because it really strengthens our community. And drop a comment below telling me what you think was the biggest mistake in yesterday's game. Let's share this conversation together. Go Pats! It has been just hours since the Patriots walked off the field in Pittsburgh, and the frustration still burns. A 21-4 loss to the Steelers, a game that could and should have been ours, turned into one of the most maddening defeats in recent memory. Think about it. 6 straight scoreless drives forced by our defense, total control and yardage both in the air and on the ground, and yet the Patriots somehow walked away empty-handed. That's not just a loss, that's a gut punch. You had it in your hands, and you let it slip. And the way it slipped makes it even harder to stomach. The last time New England put up a 5-turnover game was all the way back in 2008, when Matt Cassell was under center, not Tom Brady. That alone tells you how rare and unacceptable what we just witnessed really was. The defense did everything it possibly could. They dominated, they frustrated Kenny Pickett, and they gave the offense every single chance to put the game away. But football is cruel when you fail to capitalize, and the story of this one is the offense's collapse. And right at the center of that collapse is Rhamondre Stevenson. Patriots fans have had this conversation before. He's productive when he protects the football. He was averaging 4.5 yards per carry against Pittsburgh, but every fumble feels like a dagger, not just in the stat sheet, but in the heart of this team.
On the opening drive, he coughed it up. You think, fine, shake it off. It happens. But then down at the goal line, with a chance to change the momentum, he dives recklessly with one arm, the ball gets punched out, and you could feel the entire game tilt in that moment. This isn't a one-time issue. Since last season, Stevenson has put the ball on the ground 9 times. 9. That's not an NFL running back stat. That's a liability. And if you're a Patriots fan, the thought creeps into your head every time he gets a carry. When is the next one coming? Even Mike Vrabel addressed it after the game. He knows Stevenson's talent, knows how badly the team needs him, but admitted it all comes down to technique and ball security. The problem is, trust is already broken. The fans don't trust him. The coaches look like they don't trust him. And the opponents? They've studied the tape. Steelers coach Mike Tomlin even admitted afterward that ball security was on their agenda. They hunted Stevenson. They were punching at the football every chance they got, and it worked. That's what smart teams do. They identify a weakness and exploit it. The Patriots should have been the team doing the exploiting. Instead, they were the ones exposed. It's not like there aren't other options. Antonio Gibson had a fumble too, yes, but nobody believes he'll rack up 7 more before the season ends. The rookies like Marion Hampton, R.J. Harvey, Ashton Jeanty, and Quinton Judkins are still raw, but Hampton showed flashes in this game. And you can't ignore the body language from Stevenson. On the sideline, he looked broken, head down, no confidence, visibly shaken. That's not just a physical problem anymore, it's mental, and once a player gets into that spiral, it's hard to climb back out. But let's not stop at Stevenson. DeMario Pop Douglas is another issue. All offseason, the hype around him was real. Breakout candidate, big weapon for Drake Maye, the next slot receiver in a long Patriots tradition. Yet through 3 games, he's got just 5 catches, none for more than 10 yards. Against defenses like Miami, Pittsburgh, and Las Vegas, all struggling units, Douglas has been invisible. On a crucial 4th down play, instead of fighting forward for the first down, he fell backward. That single moment summed up his season so far. No spark, no edge, no reliability. If he can't be that guy, then maybe it's time for Ethan Chisholm to get his shot. Because make no mistake, the Patriots didn't lose this game because the Steelers beat them. They lost it because they beat themselves. Outgaining your opponent 360 to 200 yards is supposed to mean victory. Holding them to 1 turnover while you commit 5 is supposed to mean disaster, and that's exactly what happened. Drake Maye still showed signs of promise. His passing chart looked sharp, his poise impressed again, and while he has things to clean up, the foundation is clearly there. He's not the problem. The problem is that the weapons around him aren't stepping up, and the veterans who should be leading are instead dragging the team down. So here's the question that needs to be asked, and it's not an easy one. Is it time for the Patriots to bench Rhamondre Stevenson? 9 fumbles since last year. two costly ones in this game, and an opponent openly game planning to take advantage of his weakness. Can you honestly go into week 4 against Carolina believing the story will be any different? Should Pop Douglas keep getting opportunities when he's shown nothing but disappointment so far? Or is it finally time to give Ethan Chisholm a chance to prove himself alongside Drake Maye? This game wasn't just another loss. It was a test of discipline, a reminder of what happens when talent isn't paired with execution. Mike Tomlin and the Steelers didn't outplay us, they outlasted us. They stayed disciplined, waited for mistakes, and pounced. And the Patriots gave them exactly what they wanted. Now I want to hear from you. Should Rhamondre Stevenson be benched? Do you still believe Pop Douglas deserves snaps? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it together, because these are the questions that will define the Patriots moving forward. And here's the most painful part of all of this. The Patriots had every chance to rewrite the story of that night. 6 scoreless Steelers possessions. 6 opportunities where our defense, led by one of the most relentless front sevens we've seen in years, handed the ball back to the offense and practically begged them to take over. And instead of stepping on the throat of a struggling opponent, the offense imploded in ways that make you shake your head. This wasn't just about turnovers. It was about situational football, the kind of football Bill Belichick used to drill into our DNA. Red zone execution, clock management, ball security, the Patriots once set the standard for all of it. And right now, we look like a team that has forgotten its own identity. Take Stevenson's second fumble, right at the doorstep of the end zone. That's not just a turnover, that's a momentum killer, a dagger in the heart of your own sideline. You could almost see the air leave the stadium. And what makes it worse is the way it happened. Instead of putting both arms around the ball, lowering his pads, and plowing forward with authority, Stevenson went in reckless. He dove like a player desperate to make a highlight instead of securing the basics. And the Steelers were waiting for it. Punch, strip, recovery. The kind of play every defensive coordinator dreams about when they scout tape. And it's become the kind of play every Patriots fan dreads the moment Stevenson touches the football. Now imagine being Drake Maye in that moment. A rookie quarterback trying to establish himself, finally stringing together solid drives, only to watch his running back cough up the ball in critical spots. How do you develop rhythm? How do you build confidence when your supporting cast is betraying you in real time? And yet, to his credit, Maye never folded. He delivered accurate throws, moved the chains when given the chance, and continues to show flashes that remind you why this organization put its future in his hands. The poise is there. The arm is there. The leadership is starting to take root. But how much longer can one young quarterback carry an offense when the veterans around him are the ones letting him down? And then there's Pop Douglas. Patriots fans wanted so badly for him to be that guy. The shifty slot receiver, the spark plug who could finally give Maye a reliable middle-of-the-field option. But what we've gotten instead is a player who has completely vanished when the lights come on. 5 catches, none over 10 yards. Think about that. In an era where quick hitters and YAC are supposed to be his specialty, he has failed to generate even a single chain-breaking play. Worse yet, when the game is on the line, he's not making football-winning decisions. That 4th down collapse, falling backward instead of driving through contact, that's not just a physical mistake. That's a mental lapse, and it's the kind of thing that makes coaches hesitate to put you on the field in critical moments. Contrast that with the opportunity in front of someone like Ethan Chisholm, a young player hungry for snaps, ready to prove himself, and yet still waiting in the wings while Douglas continues to disappoint. At some point, you have to ask yourself, why not give Chisholm a chance? Why not inject some fresh energy into this offense? Because as it stands, the Patriots are wasting possessions, wasting yards, and wasting the efforts of a defense that deserves better. And let's be clear about the defense. They played championship-level football. 6 scoreless drives, consistent pressure, physical play that kept Pittsburgh uncomfortable for nearly the entire game. They did everything you ask of a defense in today's NFL, and yet they walked off the field with nothing to show for it. If you're a defender in that locker room, how do you not feel frustrated? How do you not look across the aisle and wonder when the offense is going to hold up its end of the bargain? That's where coaching comes in. Mike Vrabel knows what's at stake. He knows he has a rookie quarterback who needs stability, not chaos. He knows that continuing to run Stevenson out there without consequences sends a message, and not the right one. He admitted himself that the team needs Stevenson, but needing someone and being able to trust someone are two very different things. If the Patriots want to establish accountability, it has to start now. Whether that means sitting Stevenson down for a game, reshuffling the backfield rotation, or making the tough decision to elevate a rookie, the message has to be clear. Ball security is non-negotiable. And what about the bigger picture? The Patriots are now 1-2. That's not a death sentence, not by any stretch. Denver thought they were a Super Bowl team and they're sitting at the same record. But here's the difference. Denver's problem is expectations. New England's problem is execution. We're not being beaten by superior opponents. We're beating ourselves. And that is the most dangerous problem of all, because it means the fix isn't about talent, it's about discipline. And discipline is a choice. So the question for every Patriots fan right now is this: do you trust this coaching staff to make the tough calls? Do you believe Stevenson deserves another chance, knowing every defense in the league now circles his name as a turnover target? Do you believe Pop Douglas is just going through growing pains? Or is it time to move on and give someone else his snaps? And do you think this team, sitting at 1-2, has the toughness and accountability to turn it around before this season slips away? I want to know what you think. Should the Patriots keep trusting Stevenson, or is it time to make a statement? Should Douglas continue to start, or should Chisholm finally get his opportunity? Drop your answers in the comments right now, because this is the debate that will shape the rest of our season.